Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Out of Boston here. Today I'm back for episode number 39 of my Tampa Bay Rays Let's Play series here on Out of the Park Baseball 18. So we are at the end of the year 2025. This is year number 9, controlling the Tampa Bay Rays, and we are a game and a half out of the division right now with about 15 games left in the year, 14 games left in the season, I think. I want to say 14, yeah, 14 games left, and kind of a weird variety of opponents. Boston, Toronto's in last place. St. Louis, which is 4 games under 500. Baltimore, that's going to be a big showdown. They're the team in first. And then Houston, the best team in the AL this year and the best team in the league record-wise this year. So that's going to be really tough to end off the season. That's 4 games against them. So I think we actually have 15 games left in the year. But a game and a half out in the division and actually pretty close in the wild card too. Only 2 games behind Texas. But we've got to leapfrog New York as well. New York is starting to play well. But we're 8-2 in our last 10. Finally, we are starting to make a little bit of a run here. We'd pretty much just been middling all year long, even in August. I only made 1 August trade, and it was for Edwin Diaz from Cleveland. And I actually got rid of Greg Bird in this deal because Bird wasn't hitting well for us, and then he was complaining that he wasn't playing every day. So I just got rid of him while I could. Actually got something back for him. Diaz does make a lot of money, but you can see Cleveland retaining 90% of his salary, so I only have to pay him $920,000 next year, and he'll probably be a member of our bullpen. Only 31 years old, still decent ratings. Hasn't been that great last few years, although he was locked down in the World Baseball Classic, but we'll see how he does for us. We will see. So he has not pitched that much in September. Are there other guys we should call up here? I'm trying not to call up guys who are off the 40-man. We can call up Jamie Lucas. And Cadenas, perhaps. Call him up. But, alright, let's keep an eye on the standings here as we continue to sim forward. We've got 2 more games against Boston. We're coming off of an extra inning victory over them. We lose 1 in extra innings. Luckily, Baltimore lost as well, but New York did win. Texas also lost. Got a few teams to keep an eye on here. We do take 2 of 3 from Boston. We remain a game and a half back of Baltimore and New York. 1 game back in the loss column. We've got 3 games at Toronto here, so we really need to take advantage and try and pick up a few wins here. Hopefully, I mean, ideally, obviously a sweep, but at the very least, we should take 2 out of 3 here from this Toronto team. I would hope. Robert, who got hurt, he's out for the year, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, he could be back. It's Daryl Wilson who's out for the year. Robert has a day-to-day injury, but Wilson just recently got hurt. He broke his kneecap, so he is officially done for the season. And let's go back to the standings here. So it still is a 3-game set against Toronto. We've got games 2 and 3. We win the first 2. Still a game and a half back of New York now, which has won 6 in a row. But we are a half game back of Texas for the second wildcard spot and tied with Baltimore right now. And let's see if we can finish off the sweep against Toronto. This would be big. Game taking its time. And there we go, a 3-2 victory. New York wins again. They've won 7 in a row. We leapfrog Texas in the wildcard standing, so we're half game up on them now for the second wildcard spot, equal in the loss column. Now we've got 3 games at St. Louis before we're home against Baltimore, and then we finish out the season, I think, home against Houston. I feel like we always finish against Houston for some reason. We've done that the last couple years. I'm not sure why. Yeah, this is a lot of guys upset about their roles right now on this team. Perhaps maybe our chemistry is not so good, and that's why we are maybe underperforming just a tad bit. What's our run differential right now? It's about equal, 720 to 718. So hopefully we get some more one run wins, even though we would not exactly be due. We beat St. Louis. New York now has won 8 in a row, so they finally have gotten hot, and they appear to be possibly pulling away in the division. Their magic number is now 8. We are still battling St. Louis here. We win 3-0. New York wins again. We're starting to separate from Texas a little bit, though. A full 2 games up on them, and we've really separated from Baltimore now. So looking like we could be the wild card team at this point, as Texas has fallen back. Still a ways to go, though. We have, I think, 8 games left in this regular season, so things could certainly change very quickly. And we got to finish off this series against St. Louis. We are winners of 6 in a row coming into this final game, and we win once again 2-1. So the pitching has gotten it done lately. St. Louis only scored twice that series, and then before we held Toronto to 2.6 runs a game. So our pitching's been a lot better lately. That last turn through the rotation appears to have been a pretty good one. Maybe Sale and Glass now finally turning it around. Perhaps, perhaps not. But still 10 games now in a row for New York. That's what they have won. Unbelievable. And Texas is still 2 games behind in the second wildcard spot. So now we're taking on Baltimore. And Baltimore has certainly fallen off, but they are not too far away. 3.5 back after they win game 1. And we lose game 2 as well. And Luis Robert gets hurt again. This time he's actually out for 4 weeks. And we're going to put him in the DL. And I meant to take the player strategy off of Bowers. He should not be locked in at right field. Should be none right now. Did that fix it? Yes. So we're probably good. I think we have enough outfielders even without Robert. We'll have Cespedes in center, Bowers, Youngs, and O'Hearn. Claimed O'Hearn off waivers at the end of the month last month. Look at Luis Molina now. He's starting to tear it up. 20 home runs he's on pace for, hopefully. So now we are even with Texas for that second wildcard spot after our second loss in a row to Baltimore. And New York pulling ahead now. They're 3 games up with only 7, no, not even 7, what I was saying, like 4 or 5 games for them to play. So they won 11 in a row. We're probably not going to catch them for the division, but we'll have to keep an eye on this second wild card. Finishing out the series against Baltimore, which is still in this wild card hunt. They have not been eliminated yet. Now we defeat them. We put a little bit more separation to them, but Texas wins their 4th in a row. We finish against Houston. This is a very tough end of the year. They get Seattle, and they actually have 1 more game against Cleveland. But I think Cleveland is the playoff team. No, Cleveland is middling. We have to play Houston, unfortunately. So they have Cleveland, and then, what was it, Seattle? Seattle is also sort of middling. So they have a bit of an easier schedule to end off the season than us. But we will see. We'll see if maybe Houston mails it in. They have nothing else to play for. We certainly do. We beat Houston in the first game of the series, and Texas loses their final one to Cleveland. So 3 games left in the year, and New York has yet to clinch the division, but they did win their 13th game in a row, so they're 3 games up with 3 to play. Magic number is down to 1. We've got game 2 against Houston, a 1-run loss, so New York clinches the division. Texas evens us up in the wild card standings, and now we've got Alex Faedo on the mound for this game. So let's just play this game. Why not? We'll play a couple of these games to end off the regular season year. Hopefully secure this second wildcard spot. Taking a look at our lineup, we'll keep Cespedes and Stubbs in there as he's been hot lately. How is Schwartzman doing? Schwartz still having a pretty good year, 115 WRC plus. Molina is not in there. O'Hearn is. I want to get Molina in there, even if it's against a right-handed arm, the way Molina's been swinging. And we'll let him there, and that's fine. Bowers. We have Youngs in there hitting 3rd. I don't know about that. How about we do Schwarber in left and Bowers in right. And then we can move Correa up, and we can move Bowers up. And we'll do that for the lineup. All right, so Faedo on the mound. Second to last game of the regular season. The team that, I don't remember, was it Houston that knocked us out last year? Or was it someone else? I don't quite remember. But here we go. 2-0 Houston through a pair of innings already. Faedo off to a bit of a shaky start. 3-0 now. Things not going our way. Faedo at 86 pitches, so he gets through 6 innings. He's at 97. Maybe we'll let him start the next inning. We'll get someone up in the bullpen. How about Hansel Robles? And Faedo not running into trouble in the 7th, so he gives us 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 total. Robles on for the 8th. We got 1 back in the 7th. Now we're down a pair of runs. Robles throws 17 pitches that inning, so we'll go to DeYoung next. Actually, no, we won't go to DeYoung next. We will go to Edwin Diaz. And let's see if we can get anything going this inning. Ricardo Cespedes leading it off. He strikes out swinging. Back to the top of the lineup we go. Luis Urias with a high fly ball to center field. That ball struck well and gone. A solo home run for Luis Urias, who cuts the lead in half now. It is 3-2. And still with just 1 out in the inning, it is Rafael Devers who will face Alex Claudio. Devers flying this one to center. That will be caught for the second out. Now Correa, the righty, facing the left-handed Claudio. That's ball 4. Bowers steps into the box now with a man on. That ball grounded, and that will be the third out of the inning. But the Rays do get one more back, so it's 3-2 now. We head to the ninth, and we're going to get Diaz in there with DeYoung warming up. And we're going to go batter by batter. Monitor Diaz closely against this Houston lineup. That's a line drive to left. And a diving play by Kyle Schwarber for the first out of the inning. Now Jake Rogers, that is a ground ball to first base. Good for out number 2. Back to the top of the lineup they go. 3-2 count. That's a base hit. 2-out single. Now Dury's Carrasco on, or he's up, I should say. That's ball 4. 2 men on for Houston now. Let's get DeYoung in. Hopefully this does not burn him for tomorrow. It shouldn't, if he only has to go one batter. But he is going to face the number 3 man, Leek Krasnicki. And DeYoung led the MLB in saves this year. He strikes out Krasnicki. So we get out of the jam. To the ninth we go, down by a run. It will be Gillespie leading things off to face Corey Knievel, who brings a 1.91 ERA into this game. That is a fly ball just behind the dirt there in right field, shallow right field. That's good for out number 1. Base on balls for Schwarber, so we could pinch run for him now. Let's do that with Ramiro Rodriguez, as he represents the tying run. We're not going to run on Jake Rogers. That's a ground ball, and they turn 2, and the game is over. So Houston wins this second to last game of the regular season, potentially putting Texas back into a wild card spot if they win today. And it looks like Texas actually lost. So we head to game 163, knotted up for that second wild card at 83-78. Neither team has been too impressive. Down the stretch here in Los Angeles, actually still in it as well. They're a game back of both of us. Could be a 3-way tie at the end of the regular season here tonight. It's going to be Miguel Lara is our scheduled starter, and he's going to be the guy we go to. So lineup, let's get, we gotta have Molina in there as the DH over O'Hearn, and we will go with O'Hearn. Can't really play the field anymore, can he? He can play left field a little bit. Maybe we go with him over Joe Young's and have him in left with Bowers in right. And we'll do that for a lineup with Cespedes in center. Miguel Lara on the mound, sports a 2.78 ERA this year. He's only made 4 starts. He's appeared mostly out of the bullpen, but he's been solid in whatever role he has been asked to fill. And we give him a 3-0 lead here to work with in the first. So a win, and we guarantee ourselves at least a game 163 for that second wildcard spot. A win and a Texas loss would clinch us that spot, and a win would eliminate the Angels. A loss keeps the Angels in it. Lara, 97 pitches through 5. So let's turn it over to the bullpen. We're going to get Jim Fisher going here. Fisher came off the DL early September. He is back and ready to go. Maybe gives us a couple innings here, perhaps, as Lara's day is going to be done after 5. We've got a 2-run lead. So we're going to use our big weapons while we can. While we're in the lead, Fisher gives 1 back. Took him 18 pitches, so maybe we go to Michael Givens next. DeYoung is available, although not fully rested. Certainly couldn't go more than 1 inning. We get the lead back to 3 there after 2 insurance runs, so that's good. Givens on for the 7th. Gives 2 right back. Unbelievable. So the 8th is going to have to belong to maybe Paco Rodriguez, who has been really good since we got him. Or Edwin Diaz. So it'll be a combination of the 2 probably. And we're going to have to be very careful with these 2. We've only got a 1-run lead now. And we do not get any of it back. So we head to the 8th. Up by 1. It's 9-1-2 due up. Starts off with the lefty. So we'll go Paco Rodriguez to start off the 8th inning here against TJ Collette. And he's already fallen behind 2-0. That ball hit well to center field. And when it comes down, this game is going to be tied. A solo home run for TJ Collette. And this game is knotted up at 7. Unbelievable. Next man up, Kozakowski strikes out. Now Dury's Carrasco is going to be pinch hit for with Ronnie and Mauricio. And we don't really have the arms to go deep into the bullpen here tonight. A lot of our guys are not fully rested. So if this game goes extra innings, we could be boned, which is why I'm kind of giving Paco a long leash here. Although maybe should be reconsidering. That could be a double play ball. It won't be. In fact, they're going to get no one. That's frustrating. So let's just go to Edwin Diaz. Maybe Diaz has a strikeout on him here. 2-2 count to Bregman, the pinch hitter for Houston. He will face the new man, Diaz. That's hit to left field. That's going to get down. And that will load the bases with 1 man down for Jonathan Arruez, who is a tough man to double up. But he strikes out swinging there. 2 down for Yasiel Puig. Puig ground ball. Diving stop on the line drive by the shortstop. That probably saves a run and keeps the game tied. So we head to the bottom of the 8th now. Claudio facing the leadoff man Urias, who will strike out swinging. Now Devers with 2 strikes. That is a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. So O'Hearn is at the dish now. And we could potentially pinch hit with a right-handed batter. Yeah, is Molina? No, Molina's already in the game. We'd be thinking about a left fielder. So let's just leave O'Hearn in, since he's been hot. That is a line out and a double play. Oh, man. All right, so we're going to leave Diaz in to start the inning. DeYoung is actually unavailable. I was mistaken. That really stinks. We could use Robles, or Birdie. Probably try to get 1 inning out of each of them. Cal Tucker up. That's going to be a ground out for out number 1. Now Frutis Nova. That's a base hit. So Diaz surrenders his 2nd hit. Call it now. The man who started it off last inning, he strikes out swinging. Kozakowski with 2 down. And he strikes out swinging. So Diaz gets 5 outs, records 3 strikeouts, and does not give up a run that would be charged to him. So Correa leading things off in the bottom of the 9th. We're going to get Robles in to the 10th if this game goes to the 10th. Correa facing the new pitcher Corey Taylor. That is a line drive to right field. Down the corner it goes. That is going to be extra bases for Correa. A lead-off double to start things in the 9th. Now it's Casey Gillespie. He will be walked. So 2 men on for Jake Bowers facing the right-handed Taylor. And he strikes out swinging. First out of the inning, Luis Molina now. Molina into left center field. That is going to get down for a base hit. Correa coming around to score. And the Rays win it. They have clinched at least a game 163. Potentially the wild card here. That might have been the wild card clincher if Texas did lose. We don't know the fate of Texas quite yet. And Texas does lose, and we are the wild card team, the second wild card team for the year 2025. So how about that? Pretty dramatic way to end off the regular season. In walk-off fashion, very reminiscent of 2011 when the Rays, of course, walked off to clinch the wild card on Evan Longoria's home run to finish off the Boston Red Sox that year. And now it is Tampa Bay, which clinches a wild card round. A spot in the wild card round, I should say. So how about that? We will be taking on Minnesota in the second wild card round, or in the wild card round. I can't even speak right now. But I'm going to be playing that game here momentarily. Did we even get that? We didn't even get a message about us, did we? Of course not. Ooh, Billy Niemberg is out for the year. That's too bad. That must have happened in one of the games against us. That stinks. He's pretty good. And there it is, playoff bound. Rays win the wild card. So there you have it. We are going to be taking on Minnesota here. Is it going to be this next day? Nope, one more day of rest. So we'll probably be able to use whatever starter we want, which is good. Maybe Blake Snell. Probably Blake Snell, since he didn't even throw in either of those last 2 games. And he rocks the 2.89 ERA. Pretty much the ace of the staff now. Led the American League in WAR among pitchers. And he was the MVP of the World Baseball Classic, despite the USA losing in the semifinals. So pretty impressive year for Snell so far. 2.89 ERA. Did get hurt at one point, but he made, I think, 28 starts. So still 162 innings. And as for the postseason roster, let's look at the guys eligible. So we probably want Ramiro Rodriguez on there. And O'Hearn, I would think. Rodriguez maybe over Joe Youngs. Youngs is a left-handed bat, so we're going to remove him. We did keep Youngs on the 25-man all year, though, which means he does become a part of our organization, which is nice. He's a nice little player. Potential corner guy. So that gives us 4 outfielders. O'Hearn, maybe in there over... Probably have to be over Schwarber. But I want to keep Schwarber over O'Hearn, I think. So we'll do that. O'Hearn will be off the roster. Robles, obviously, we want on there. Probably over Chris Sale. And I'll keep Paco Rodriguez on if I can, just to have a lefty. Since we're not keeping Sale. Probably want Lara on there. Over... Maybe he would be over Paco, even though Paco was pretty good for us down the stretch. Did give up that long home run in the final game of the regular season. So he will be removed in favor of... Actually, I'm gonna put O'Hearn on, since it's just a wild card game. We're probably not gonna have to dip into our bullpen that much, so we probably won't need Lara for the wild card round. Other guys we might not need, probably Glass now. I'm trying to think of what our rotation would be. It would certainly be these three, and then I guess Glass now in game 4. But I guess short, we don't want to go shorter than one reliever, so one reliever short, I mean. So let's just take on this Minnesota team. Let's take a look at how we finished the year. We ended up 9th in runs scored and 5th in runs against. Pythagorean win-loss was 82-20. So not a very impressive season out of us, but we do make our 6th postseason appearance in 7 years. I think last year we lost the wild card round. This Minnesota team won a World Series not too long ago in the year 2020, and they've made the playoffs a couple of times, a few times in the last few years. So decent team, and they were a 91 win regular season team, 7th in runs scored, 2nd in runs against. So they sport a pretty good team here. If they scored 800 runs and they were only 7th in runs scored, that means it's clearly the offense has been going up in this league, I would say. Their bullpen looks pretty solid, but their rotation isn't great. This Andy Heimel is going to make the start over Jose Barrios, who must have pitched their final regular season game for them or something, or I don't... What is this game against the Dodgers they played on the 5th? That must have been a makeup game or something. I don't even know. I don't know what that was for, why he pitched that game. But he did, so he's unavailable. And their lineup is pretty decent, it seems. 800 runs. Look at WRC+. So a couple bench bats that are pretty good for them. And then the regular bats aren't great. Elliott, they have Rowdy Tellez, Max Kepler, Nick Gordon. Some decent guys, Sano, but no one who really stands out. I know Tellez won a Silver Slugger, I think, a couple years ago, maybe last year, but he isn't really that good. He hasn't been that great since we traded him. Although he is a familiar face. Cancel that. Whoopsie daisies. Tellez, he makes $8.3 million right now. Yeah, he's been all right. 31 homers last year, 36 the year before that, 28 this year. So still a pretty decent first base DH bat. But all right, let's get this game underway. So we're going to be throwing Snell since we appropriately rested our... Well, we didn't even appropriately rest him, but we got to do our lineup apparently. So, all right, and let's do play game, and we'll make lineup adjustments on this screen. So the question is, Stubbs or Schwartz? Stubbs has been good lately, but I think I got to go Schwartz in the playoff game. And then O'Hearn is on there. I could go with him over Ramiro Rodriguez, which I think I will do since he's been hot. And he can play left field a little bit. We'll move O'Hearn up just a tad in the lineup. We'll do that. All right, that looks good to me. So Snell on the mound for the wild card round. Let's see if he can send us to the division series. Last year was the first year that we lost in the wild card round in this series, and hopefully we will not be repeating that fate. So here we go from Minnesota. We did not host, or we did host it last year. We don't host it this year. We're in Minnesota. Snell on the mound, gives up a run in the 2nd. Minnesota has a 1-0 lead, and their starter Andy Heimel has pitched 3 perfect innings so far. Snell, 47 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Hopefully settling in a little bit. Still no base runners for us against this Andy Heimel. And this is really like, I mean, this is just so bad if we really can't even get on base against this guy. Schwarber stepping in. He strikes out swinging. J.J. Schwartz, he walks. Okay, so we finally get a base runner. Ricardo Cespedes, he grounds it. Not a double play. Schwartz gets the second base now, so a man in scoring position for Urias. And the 1-1 count to Urias. That is hit well to center. And that's going to be down for extra bases. So Urias with an RBI double. That ties the game up at 1. We finally crack through here, break through here in the 6th with a RBI double from Urias. Now Devers up, facing Heimel. That's a ground ball, hard ground ball, but first baseman makes the play. So that is the 3rd out. We head to the bottom of the 6th now. Knotted up at 1. Snell still in there facing the 3-4-5 for Minnesota here. Sano strikes out swinging. 9th K of the evening for Snell. And just 5 1/3. Facing Nick Gordon now. Gordon with a hard hit ball to left center, but that's a nice play by Schwarber out there in left field, who is in for O'Hearn. O'Hearn must have gotten hurt. He did get hurt. Concussion. Nice. So 2 down for another lefty, Rowdy Tellez, the former Tampa Bay Ray. He strikes out swinging. And Snell strikes out his former teammate for his 10th strikeout of the night. We head to the 7th, knotted at 1. R345 is up now, still facing Andy Heimel, who was in the game, remains in the game. He has pitched well so far. Gets Gillespie. Now Correa up with a 1-1 count. That's a soft ground ball. Could be trouble. And he is retired at first base. 2 down for Jake Bowers. Another 1-1 count. That's a ground ball through into right field for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Bowers. That will bring Luis Molina to the dish with 2 down in the inning. 2-2 count. Ground ball. And that is going to be good for a fielder's choice. 3rd out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Snell coming back out with 90 pitches under his belt. He has gone 6 strong innings. Has not given up. I don't think he's given up a hit in a while. Not since the 2nd inning has he given up a hit. So we have pretty much all of our relievers available to us. We'll get Robles up since he's been probably... Well, actually, he struggled a little bit in the second half. Holder, Givens. Maybe Givens is the guy we go to as the first man out of the pen. Fisher struggled since he came back from the injury, but I still am probably going to be using him in high leverage spots. And Birdie we have. So we have a deep bullpen. So I'm probably going to be relatively aggressive with the hook on Snell. But Snell records his 11th strikeout, and he's got the bottom half of the lineup up right now. So I'm not too worried, although that's hit well to left field. Another nice play by Schwarber. 2 down for their DH, Isaac Paredes. And that's a soft ground ball. And that's good for the 3rd out of the inning. So Snell, 7 innings, only 1 run so far. And they have a lefty leading off next inning, so I might leave Snell in to start the next inning at least. But we'll keep going batter by batter here, just to be as careful as possible. Schwarber up, leading things off against Taylor Rogers, their new reliever into the game, who had a 2.52 ERA this year. That's hit well to right center field. And that is going to get down for extra bases. Schwarber heading for 3, and he's in there. A lead-off triple. Schwarber goes lefty on lefty there and gets a triple off of Rogers to start things off. Now we've got Schwartz up, and this is not really the guy I want up in this situation because I really just want a guy who can put the ball in play and not strike out. So maybe we go to Yason Coca, although he strikes out a lot as well. Garrett Stubbs, lefty on lefty. I don't love that, so probably just going to leave Schwartz in. Hope that he doesn't strike out. 0-1 count. Hard ground ball down the left field line for a base hit, and the Rays take the lead. Schwartz going for 2nd, and he's in there. An RBI double for J.J. Schwartz gives the Rays the lead here in the 8th inning of this wildcard game. Now Ricardo Cespedes up, facing the lefty. That is flared to shallow center field. That will be caught by the shortstop for the 1st out of the inning. Luis Urias up next. He's behind in the count 0-2. He hits that one back up the middle for a base hit. Runner being waved around. He will score, and it's 3-1 Tampa Bay. So a couple runs across here for Tampa this inning. Let's get Michael Givens back up in the bullpen. And now we've got Devers up with still just 1 out in the inning. But he strikes out looking. So 2 down for Casey Gillespie. That's going to be hit into left field, and that is caught. So that is the 3rd out. Tampa pushes across a couple runs, takes a 3-1 lead. Snell back out there to probably just face this man. I might look at Michael Elliott's ratings, but that's ball 4. So Snell, now 105 pitches. He's looking tired. His day is going to be done. We will turn the game over to Givens with DeYoung warming in the pen. Givens also going to have a short leash here, facing leash, I should say, facing the top of the lineup. And Givens induces a soft ground ball that is going to be an infield hit. Nice. Okay. The speedy Elliott beats it out. Now Hader, he pops this one up foul territory. This should be good for the 1st out. And it is 1 down for Miguel Sano. Big threat here in Sano. And he is going to walk, so the tying run advances into scoring position. And now I'm just going to put DeYoung in. Not going to mess around. As he will face the lefty Nick Gordon with 2 strikes on him. DeYoung with a 3.01 ERA this year. And he strikes out swinging. A 3-pitch strikeout. Now Tellez up with 2 outs in the inning. He hits this one to shallow center field. Could be trouble, but it's a catch for the center fielder. Cespedes just gets there in time. And he shows off the value in having a solid defender out there in center, because that could have been a couple runs, but instead the side is retired. We head to the 9th, up by a couple of runs. It's Correa leading things off, trying to get insurance off of Taylor Rogers, but he strikes out swinging. Bowers now, full count, he walks. Man on, 1 man out for Molina. He hits this one down the right field line, but that is going to be caught by the right fielder. 2 away for Schwarber. who will ground out softly to the shortstop there, playing on the other side of the bag. So we head to the 9th. DeYoung still out there trying to send the Rays to the division series. He strikes out Brian Reynolds. 1 away. Now Kepler. Kepler hits this one into right field. That's a base hit. So that will get the tying run to the plate here in the 9th. And it is in the form of Isaac Paredes, the DH. He pops this one up, foul territory, right side. And that will be caught by Casey Gillespie, 2 away. And Ben Rortvedt, the last chance for Minnesota here, the catcher, grounds that one. And that is going to do it. Tampa Bay is moving on to the division series. A 3-1 victory on the back of Blake Snell's outstanding effort. He will pick up the win. And Tampa Bay gets the come-from-behind win. They trailed for much of the game, for a majority of the game, before scoring 1 in the 6th and then the pair in the 8th to take the lead once and for all. And that does it. Snell does get the win. He continues his season of dominance, a potential Cy Young candidate. And O'Hearn, he will be fine. So that is going to do it. Hope you guys did enjoy this episode, and I will see you all in the division series. Thanks for watching, and it doesn't out. Peace.